Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Burning Truth. This might sound a bit different because the usual person isn't here who does the introduction.
Yeah, Mr. Goff has what does he call me, the man that can't fuck off properly? Well, Mr. Goff has fucked off this week.
But that's unheard of. He's always here.
He's always here, but this time, he's got business to attend to and make us proud, even though he's not playing or anything like that.
At the moment. But he will be. And
Yes.
he'll most likely do well.
Yes, and we'll just go with the flow, as they call it.
As of right now, I am the Funk Soul Brother, Matt Burns, or as I've also been known as
The Plank Soul Brother.
the Plank Soul Brother, the Bully,
Bully, shut up.
the bad boy of British wrestling, and everything. But I'm Matt Burns, and across from me, as we were always introduced, he is the man that can't fuck off, Charles Kelsey.
Hello. Well, it is very weird this week with no Mr. Goff.
I feel like I've lost an arm.
How the hell can you lose your arms? Are that big? Come on.
Come on. I feel like I've lost an
They
arm.
would be the third world country, your arms would.
Hey. At least it'd be welfare.
I doubt that, to be honest. Imagine just crap that's in that arm. Anyway, so yes, it's been a interesting few days in pro wrestling.
That it has. However, before we get on to the actual usual content that we normally go through, on topics and everything, we want to address something that has recently occurred on our Facebook page.
Yes, we had a person comment, and it wasn't very beneficial for either the fans or for us. We found it very rude that the fact that if you've got a problem with what stuff we said, we'd rather you email us on the Burning Truth. I don't know how to email properly, so you best say it from there, Mr. Burns.
It's the Burning Truth at outlook.com.
At outlook.com.
It's actually on the Facebook page. If you go under info, you'll see it there. However, whenever it comes to criticism, we don't mind any if you've got any advice or anything you don't like, just let us know. We don't mind. But if someone's going to come on and
be a keyboard warrior,
as some might say, or just throwing out abuse left, right, and centre, just to cause flame wars, we're not here to do that.
Especially someone who looks like a 12-year-old.
We just want to have positive, as much.
Basically,
why do I sound like the New Day? The power, the positivity.
No, you can't, because you got
the power, the positivity of the New Day. There we go.
That should be a preacher, boy.
The point being is, on the Facebook page, we aim to be as positive as possible because we're here to broadcast wrestling. We want to get more known as much as possible as we can.
We're not here for ratings, as I found out when I first came here. We're not here for ratings. We're actually doing this for benefiting everyone, really. It's not for ratings. It's not for let's kick this radio station off or let's kick this podcast off. It's actually just about us having fun and talk about wrestling, and we want to hear other people's opinions that will benefit us, and they might go, well, I actually have a different opinion I think of this situation differently, and that'd be great, but we don't want stuff going,
oh, this is bad, we don't want just abusive comments. It's got to be like, I don't like this because of, I don't like that because of.
And if you got a problem with the individuals, which I know who ain't that specifically, just message me on my Facebook page. We say it every goddamn week. They've even plugged it for me while I was away. Exactly.
It has to be done.
So if you got a problem with the specific person, just message us either at theburningtruth@outlook.com, even at Matt Burns' Facebook page, my Facebook page, or the Burning Truth page,
or Nathan's. Either one of us. Yeah. We don't mind, if we can address a situation as quickly as possible, we'll do our best.
If you've got nothing to say realistically that isn't going to benefit anyone, then just stop looking at your keyboard and watch something else.
However, as you just basically said, is if you don't like us, don't listen to us. But
listen to us because I want to annoy you more.
However, I will say this. I want to point out one thing. I would like to thank every listener that does listen to us and give us support. Thank you. So let's continue. Let's get on.
Now
to
let's
more,
bring the positivity.
Now let's get on with the actual main part of the
Yes.
the burning truth. Would you care to? Do you have any topics, or shall we get to the fan questions?
No, I think we should get through Battleground first, if anything.
Okay, Battleground it is.
As everybody would, we have had a heated discussion before we come on the air with Mr. Goff on the phone, because Wikipedia is saying that Brock Lesnar defeated Seth Rollins by disqualification, which it technically was. But WWE.com are saying that
it's a no count. It's a doesn't count.
no contest.
No contest.
I agree with the disqualification because Undertaker put his hands on Brock Lesnar. It's a disqualification. So that would mean Nathan Goff is 2-0-0. That sounded very weird, but normally they're not used to having the third person. That's me.
Yes.
The third wheel. Like a three-wheel car.
The Lion Robin.
Oh, yes. I miss them cars.
However, if it's a no contest, then technically both me and Nath drew on points and would earn a point each. However, due to the certain rules and regulations, I'm going to give the point away to Nathan.
No, you wasn't. You were bitching about it. You were bitching. You were like a little baby back bitch.
No, I'm going to
Baby
give
back,
it,
baby
or if necessary, why don't we hand it out to our fans?
If you want to message us saying that Brock Lesnar won by disqualification and have Mr. Goff win, I don't mind that.
Or if you want to claim it's a draw, go for it.
Yeah, just one of those things, really. One of the topics I want to get over and done with is Battleground, and probably the main one this week, which I'll mention after Battleground. So, we had King Barrett versus R-Truth. R-Truth losing.
Oh, I bet a lot of people were thinking, this could refreshen R-Truth, or and bring back King Barrett back to Bad News Barrett. But I feel a bit sorry for Barrett, in that scenario if it did happen, because at the moment he seems to be getting a role and then having it pulled away. But they've let him have the win. Now the question is what's next for King Barrett?
We'll find out, really. I mean, at the minute, we'll find out in the next few weeks, because it's WWE. You never know, really, unless you read some dirt sheets, which I'm not happy with.
You're not happy with dirt sheets?
No, because it ruins the business, in my opinion. I like the element of surprise. I don't like reading it going, look at Taker arriving at the building at 4 o'clock in America. It's like, I don't really want to know that.
Spoilers!
It's been a week near enough.
No, I mean, at the time.
Yeah,
when
it's
it
like,
happens.
I don't agree with it. Just, let me be a fan in peace.
Yes.
Instead of doing little dirt sheets, and especially some people just having wrong information, it's like meh.
Yep. Now next on the next match would be Randy Orton defeating Sheamus.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
have you seen his new Vine video, by the way?
which,
The one I put up on my personal page with Superman, the new Superman versus Batman, Dawn of Justice trailer. Well, it's the Randy Orton version, and always kicking Superman's ass.
seen it.
Brilliant.
I've also seen other people trying to make their own version, including one guy, just to show how far love can go. RKO's his girlfriend out of nowhere, and she pummels him straight after.
Well, you should always beware when you're using the RKO. If it doesn't go right, then you're getting your ass kicked.
Folks, don't try this.
No, it's listen to what WWE says in every independent show and everything. Don't try this at home.
Yes. Now, I think you thought Sheamus was going to win
I did say Sheamus was going to win because what was the point?
because of the Money in the Bank thing.
Yeah, but of course, Mr. Money in the Bank lost. But I think that was just to have the amp up of he could cash in.
Yeah. Well, the first thing that came to my mind is the Money in the Bank don't have a great streak when they've got it, but they've got the ability because of the briefcase to cash in and instantly become a number one contender.
I think Kane had the best
surprise.
Yeah.
On the night, there and then. Yeah.
And
Now,
I think
also
Daniel Bryan had the worst streak because he was losing everything.
He was, but
Then he won.
it paid off. Now, with the Randy Orton match, it was also in Randy Orton's hometown, which is very rare. You get to lose. Would you agree on that?
Yes. I mean, of course, hometown boy.
Shall we move on to the third match? Which is the primetime players defeating the New Day.
I just love the intro because it annoys people. I love it because of the whole fact of the positivity and feel the power.
That's millions of dollars.
No, I want New Day to win because I love New Day. Didn't I say primetime players last week?
No, you went against it.
Yeah, actually no, because yes, that was it. Money in the Bank. I said primetime players. I was like, no, I want the positivity back.
And then because I believe you said that they haven't done anything. You said they hadn't done anything with the championship, but give them time. Give them time.
Just like give Divas a chance.
Then we've got. I will be honest. This was one match. I was glad I got wrong on the predictions.
Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt.
Yes, Bray Wyatt defeating Roman Reigns.
That was a very good match in my opinion.
Yeah.
It was very good, and I like the counter to the apron drop kick he normally does.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how he timed it perfectly. It was
Straight
nice.
I liked the camera work as well.
I personally just
end.
liked the fact of it was a back and forth match. It showed Reigns in a different light, technically. But,
Yeah.
Because you've had your Samoan Superman, as I would call it.
Yeah.
From Brock Lesnar. Even though he might have lost a few, but he's still been the Samoan Superman. But in this match, it was like everything that he had, Bray had an answer for.
Yeah. It seems even though you're saying anything but Roman, he'd done his homework. So it was good.
And then luckily the return of Luke Harper.
Which I will be honest, when I saw someone jump over, I just liked the fact that they had the camera work did enough just to cover it who it really was, just enough. I thought, and it was brilliant because then when it came to the big reveal,
it was nice. That everyone's going, like dirt sheets. Apparently, of course, this is. The Wyatt, the Wyatt, the Wyatt family's coming back together. It's like, no, not really, because Rowan can't because he's got an injury at the minute. I think it's his knee.
Yes,
He's
got an injury with his knee.
Yeah, and of course he's out for a while, so of course can't do anything. But no, it'd be good. And apparently, add a new member in because apparently because of the apostrophe marks, dirt sheets. They want Sting and Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose to face the Wyatt family.
Oh.
Which will be alright, but it's like, meh.
But who's going to be that third man for the Wyatt family if they don't get...
We'll see.
Let's just see. And we had the match that we couldn't actually predict because we didn't know it was on the card.
I think it replaced the triple threat.
It replaced triple threat, yes, which was...
it was Big Show versus Roy versus The Miz.
Which, well, we ended up getting knocked out anyway. Right. But moving on.
Big Show only knocked him out his trousers. Come on.
Pretty much.
It was Charlotte versus Sasha Banks versus Brie Bella.
Yeah.
It was quite a good match. I enjoyed it.
At first, when they were saying, it's going to be Nikki Bella, and the first thing that popped into my head, triple threat, you've got the Divas champion in the ring, make it for the title.
And then she tricked them.
And then she goes rolled out and goes, no, you're not worthy. And put her sister in.
Yeah. I found it was quite funny as well. That you had Ric Flair's daughter versus Snoop Dogg's cousin versus Daniel Bryan's wife. Most people actually don't know about Sasha Banks being Snoop Dogg's real life cousin.
So, it's always
the
good.
Boss.
But then again,
you tell there was a few matches that match because I think that you're going from NXT crowds
to WWE crowds,
and especially this one.
And the different styles as well.
It's not just the different styles. Brie Bella is not used to like the hard hitting.
You can tell between Charlotte and Sasha when they were hitting each other, they meant it. But then again, they've got that hatred for each other.
Exactly, and of course, Brie Bella, he probably takes it because they tried to steal Daniel Bryan's kicks, which worked actually. To be honest,
It did.
Bray was going, no, yes, no, yes. It was like, okay, make your minds up. But now you can tell, like, they weren't used to.
We missed a match here. We've actually missed a match.
We don't care if we don't go in chronological order.
Oh, that's alright. Then we've got...
I ain't finished yet.
Okay.
Because, the wrestling for 17 pounds people instead of, like, probably 3-4 maybe.
Yeah.
No, that's like a big step up, so of course nerves. But I thought it was a really good match. And
Yeah.
Figure 8 came in and...
But when?
Next match would be... that we didn't miss it because that was next right after it.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't it? I thought it was semi-main.
I thought...
It
It was.
So we haven't missed one.
Oh,
No, it was...
No, my
John Cena defeated Kevin Owens in another really good match.
Oh, always good. However, I didn't expect the submission.
No, but it put another layer on top of Owens' character being just that tough and being better than Cena in a way. Because he took 2 AAs.
Yeah,
He took the off at the top. 1, 2, 2.5 kick out. It was perfectly
and
timed.
especially with the comment that was made recently on SmackDown this week. He says he didn't actually really tap out. That was just him thinking, oh, I'm not taking an injury because I want to feed my family.
Brilliant.
He's basically just saying, I would rather walk away for that day and return, come back to fight another day.
Yes, that's the best option because Cena's going to have to wrestle, so is Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
And he apparently had a really good match with Rusev as well on SmackDown.
Oh, that he does.
I don't watch SmackDown because I don't have the chance to.
That he does.
But no,
which is repercussions from Raw. Well,
yeah.
Moving on, the main event. This is the moment where pretty much
Dirt Sheets ruined it for me.
Dirt Sheets ruined it for you. Lucky enough, I avoided Dirt Sheets.
You're right. I read them all over your Facebook and Twitter.
No, I didn't. I actually didn't. I avoided the Dirt Sheets. I wanted to make sure I was watching this with clear mind. I never. As soon as I heard that gong.
My fiance had a really good point about the dong. I thought it went off a bit too early.
It seemed it a little bit
because it was dong, lights out, dong. If they would have went lights out, dong, taker, I thought that would have suited a lot better. To be honest.
I got what you're saying there. However, I will say I like the actual match itself, Lesnar versus Seth. I thought it wasn't that bad. However, you can see they wanted Brock to be the dominant one, but it also showed Seth in a different light on the fact that he is a bit of he knows what he's doing with his head, going for the leg of Brock Lesnar.
I personally thought that it, in a way, damaged Seth Rollins a little bit.
Yeah, it did damage him a little bit. Because I know you're thinking.
Because everyone's still shocked about Roman Reigns actually looking stronger after Brock Lesnar. Because of how he laughed at him and laughed at his pain.
And you're thinking because he's WWE champion. But do take into account, Brock Lesnar is no normal human being. And
no, he's the former UFC heavyweight champion. Former unified UFC heavyweight champion, which was UFC 116.
And has Paul Heyman put it nicely, Lesnar as a challenger, very rare.
Exactly. But no, luckily take a cable out of bed. Good old swift kick in the nuts.
Ooh. Taking Brock Lesnar, back to school, teaching him.
And then, of course, on Raw, just a quick update on it is when, if you haven't watched Raw, just the main bit that you want to see is basically Lesnar comes out when Taker's out. I didn't watch the Taker promo.
No, the Taker promo was basically him saying, you kept reminding everybody of my defeat, of you defeating me. You reminded everybody. You've now turned ashes into a blazing inferno. He's basically stating he's going to test Brock Lesnar's mortality.
Whenever Brock Lesnar came down, took the whole locker room, which you find a funny meme. We put up us going, should have just believed in a funny face.
And then we had the promo from the best stickman on WWE, Paul Heyman, who basically declared that Undertaker had sold his soul to the devil, but your ass belongs to Brock Lesnar. As soon as I heard that, my brain just went, Taker's got to make an appearance.
Oh, he was going to make an appearance.
Made the appearance, and then there was one little touch I thought that was brilliant when Brock was going down. The announcers.
Run, Michael, run.
No. All three announcers just goes, yeah, I'm getting out of here. Woo. Because they didn't want to be in the instructions of Brock Lesnar. And then you saw the eruption, the split apart, which looked brilliant.
I want to know if the lead up to SummerSlam match they'll actually mention that The Undertaker has never beaten Brock Lesnar. Not on house shows, he has never beaten him on a house show, never beaten him on a pay-per-view, never beaten him on a SmackDown, never beaten him on a Raw.
I think he has beaten Brock Lesnar, but not cleanly.
No, like a proper win.
Yeah, you mean like a proper win, like clean.
No,
I mean, discrediting DQs.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You could say that. Might say, I don't know my facts properly. But regardless, it's still like the fact of, they should always mention that because you're always going to have that.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be a back in your mind that you can't be someone for like...
One fact that was brought up during the pay-per-view was that Lesnar hadn't been pinned or submitted for such a long period of time.
He's not. He hasn't been pinned since WrestleMania 29 when he lost to Triple H.
Yes, that was the last time he was pinned.
Oh, I knew it.
Is it?
Yeah, because Triple H beat him.
I think it might be, but not 100% sure.
Well, Triple H regardless beat him, and he lost at Extreme Rules in the cage.
But let's move on.
Yeah. One of the topics I want to get over and done with is the biggest goal.
We've got fan questions.
Fan questions always come last because we saved the best. Yes, Sparta. We saved the best till last.
Trust you with your phone. You're failing us already.
I'm not failing anybody.
You have failed this podcast. You've let us down. You've let us down.
Goff. You've
let the fans down.
You're not Nathan Goff.
You're letting us down, man. Put it on silent. I know you're popular, man, but come on. Yeah. You ought to know better than that. But anyway, let's move on to the topics you'd like to discuss.
Controversy in the last 2 days.
Oh, straight away. I already know which one that's going to be come flying in already.
Might as well get done out the way. The immortal Hulk Hogan saying the N-word and getting released.
Oh.
The problem is the word, the N-word, I will not say it because...
We will not say it because it's not a nice word.
No, it's not even just that. It's the fact of... It's centuries old and no one knows the true meaning of it anymore. It's true because back in the slave days it was first used. That's what... It's true, unfortunately. It's history. That's why, back in those days, and it should never be used. And
it shouldn't.
And if you listen to the interview, yes, Hulk Hogan does say that word very multiple times, and he gets angry with his daughter Brooke marrying an NFL player's son who's, he's black, and that's angry about how who's black, and he's angry at the point. He goes, what's she doing marrying this famous person's daughter? That dirty. No, he didn't say that.
It's not.
It was like, well,
it's not right.
Regardless, it's not right. And
now the argument here that a lot of people are stating at the moment, he shouldn't have said it. Blah blah blah. Now we all know it shouldn't have been said.
Nope.
We all agree on that. That's fine. The argument at the moment, also on top of that, is the fact that WWE have completely erased everything of Hogan off the website and everything. They want nothing to do with Hogan. He's been literally pulled off, toughened off, and everything. Now
they're just angry.
Okay,
they're just angry at the minute. They're
angry, of course.
They overreact a lot of stuff. Remember,
true, but they are a public limited company, and they've got to protect
their interests
because
they've got stockholders, they've got
shareholders,
they've got a lot of things.
Now, what a lot of other people are arguing is, okay, they're saying fair enough, but a certain person higher up in WWE has said it themselves in 2005 to John Cena with Booker T in the background, and it's followed up with tell me he did not just say that. We're not going to say who it was. You probably already know who it is. Now the point that people are arguing against is, why was he not? Straight away you can say, some people could say, why was he not reprimanded, or why was there no backlash from that? Which there was at the time. There was a bit of an uproar about it.
There was, just like when Kurt Angle said, just we always make a point of, that these dumb people will appreciate anything I say and they'll always be my fans. When he said, I'm not a fan of the black man. And if I'm correct, that was at a backlash. No, it was when he had Daivari as his personal.
Not good, not
manager.
Good.
It's not, but the problem is, though, whoever knows about that specific incident with Vincent Kennedy McMahon saying that to John Cena,
yeah,
put people behind and go, please tell me just not say that. Because I think it was, I wouldn't like to go, it's like, come out the air. Actually, no, it's like we're in the PG era now.
Yeah.
This is the start. Actually, no, this is the ruthless aggression, technically, era.
That we're in now?
No, about that. That happened, yes.
But even so, that's still not...
It's still not acceptable, and just like... You know the main problem is as well?
Hmm?
Why has this been brought up after 3 years? When the tape was recorded back in 2012.
Which also brings another argument that people are arguing and saying that was then Hogan was going through one of the worst time.
No, he's going through the worst time of his life.
Well, the worst time of his life, and was he on something or not? But even so, it was said, it's been done. Now, this one's got. We're not going to pick sides on this one because
there's no sides to pick.
There's no sides to pick. The only thing that we're going to say is the word that was said shouldn't be said. That's that.
No, and it's just the fact of, it's a shame. WWE do overreact with a lot of things. I know that they got advertisements and investors and, as I said, stockholders and shareholders and everything else like that there.
However, they can't just erase someone.
No, they won't, because as everyone's probably said, look, fakes dirt sheets again. Vince McMahon does. Who will forgive? I mean, Hogan did try to take him down twice. He employed him. Went to TNA, still employed him after that. So I think stuff will be done, and it's very convenient as well. Very convenient that this happens when he's possibly going to the Big Brother house.
Oh,
yes. If this did not happen, he would still be Tough Enough. Tough Enough would not finish in time to start. It'd be over when he could.
I think they could have worked around it, but
yeah, but still, it's the fact of this. Everyone says it's a big conspiracy. I say it's people overreacting, people wanting justice for it, but there's no. But you can't have justice for a word that shouldn't be used regardless.
It shouldn't be used regardless, but some people can defend it, saying during Hogan's younger days that the mentality was different then compared to how it is now. But regardless, it's a word that shouldn't be used, and that's the best way I can say.
Booker T even said it himself.
Booker T's even slept up and even said it. And
no. If you're not really sort of thing, he goes, "I wish I never said it." I think it was 12.
To Hogan.
No, this is on Twitter. No, he said it on Twitter. I wish I never said that word. That word should be erased from history. I agree with that.
Yeah, it's not a nice word, and we're not going to say the word at all because even Booker T has said it unintentionally during a promo that was also aimed at.
I personally think.
But you know about.
I think he said sucker really.
But
he goes, "How come we can't view sucker?" See. Good way of looking.
Nice little twist on it. I'm expecting if it's going to be actually heard this now, or if people around them would have the thought of quick edit it.
And then what can you edit? We got the original versions on 5 different platforms.
Exactly, but
it's
done.
It's done.
Let's move on.
Yes.
So the only thing I'm going to say is the words that word is off limit. What's done is done. We're not picking sides over the repercussions. Let's just hope that whatever happens, it gets better for all parties.
One of the things I want to discuss is why are gimmicks changed constantly for the modern era, but yet back in the day they weren't changed at all, like Harlem Heat when they first came out with the chains and the stuff. Of course, we were just technically on about it, like the old slavery days, and that's still fresh in everyone's mind.
You mean sort of a bit like over the Iron Sheik versus Hogan, because there was the whole war going on.
Yes, Iran. Sorry, it's from Iran. He's not from Iraq. For anyone says it, if you ever hear him, Iran #1, USA.
Yeah,
Sheiky Baby. I love Sheiky Baby.
I know you love Sheiky Baby.
Only man I know who can have a bayonet and stick it right in Hogan's back in a camel clutch. He got it.
It's official. You've probably now just scarred people who are now going to be rewatching that.
Yeah, but then I think, my God, he did that. He had a rock on, and he's put it straight over his back.
Cheers for that. Cheers for that.
No problem. I like to be the bearer of bad news sometimes.
Really? You're going to go with that?
No, I think that I don't get why they couldn't be changed back then. And this is before the Attitude Era. And this is before, like, during the Attitude Era. Yes, Attitude Era was for, teenagers plus. For the older generation. But
some people could say it's nowadays political correctness has gone mad at times. Political correctness is...
No, the world we live in has gone crazy more like, right?
It's sort of... Political correctness has come in and everybody's taking offence to everything, and they're trying to please to everybody, not to offend everybody. Which, in a sense, okay, you could say you're causing this problem here, but it's getting us this, and this here. But if we're getting everybody happy...
But there's a big thing with the world today. You can't keep everybody happy because no matter what, a quarter's not going to like it, a quarter's going to love it. This quarter's going to be like, well, we can change like this, so, I'm not anything. And the other quarter just don't acknowledge it.
It's a very tough...
Regardless, it's still a tough subject because it's like, well, I'm sorry, but there are some gimmicks, like, back in the day. Like, the Canadians, even though people go, oh, they didn't want the Heat over except for William Regal. But it's like... I'm sorry, just because I'm from, like, England, I don't get the whole... this Canadians come in and wrestling in America. I find it like that's like for me it's a bit different if like a German comes over. No disrespect to any German wrestlers.
None.
Because they're like
none taken to the we're not trying to offend.
No, we're not trying to offend because we should be angry like some of them because we had the 2 world wars against them. But yet we greet each other friendly. We still do this. We still still wrestle them and we still get along with them majorly. But yeah. Like in America, sometimes they take that really bad. Like, oh, Canadians come in. You're only across the border. You're only across the border, and should be all loving each other, really.
Yeah, it's
some of the world's greatest athletes come from Canada. You got Bret Hart, who was amazing.
Well,
Owen Hart,
the Hart family. Just go with that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, the Hart family.
Let's go with the Hart family.
And then you got Chris Jericho, Mr. Steve Richards, Chris Benoit.
I like how you.
Stevie Richards, baby. And of course you got like your good old MAFers like George St. Pierre.
Oh, George St. Pierre. Good call there.
Pierre.
Then we've also got some current wrestlers like Kevin Owens.
Good old Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, who actually comes from Montreal.
Yep. Edge, Christian.
There's a load more. Piper is originally from Canada.
We've got that many.
Exactly, and
there's literally that many.
No, I just don't get it.
It's a talent.
I just don't get it. It's one of the things that I won't say because I don't get. Because, like, well, in my eyes, it's like.
However, there is one request. If any wrestling fan, just to do us one favour, don't mistake Chris Jericho's hometown.
I'm from Winnipeg, you idiot.
There we go.
Oh, good old Botchamania.
Yes.
Because I understand, like, before the Attitude Era, they had a specifically stupid gimmicks.
It's tough because
like Mabel, basically Mr. Burger King himself.
Yep.
He had a king for that technically, but no one appreciates his Memphis days anymore.
Yeah. Well, there is as much as you can say. Gimmick always keeps changing. It's also it can also be considered for the safety of the wrestler as well, because if something happens, worldwide, and it does generate a lot of hatred towards a single worker, it can also bring a lot of hate mail. Slaughter during his evil days when he became the sympathizer, he had hate mail. He actually at one point even feared for his own life.
Yes, because a fan threatened to blow his house up, blow the head office in Stamford up, kill Vincent McMahon, kill Linda, kill Sergeant Slaughter, kills his wife, kills his family, had to have security for a month.
Yeah, which
if you want to know all this, just watch The Legends of Wrestling. So, and it is Heat Seekers.
Heat Seekers.
No, either Heat Seekers or Patriotism. Yes, that's the one.
Yes.
And he explains what happened in a bit more detail, like how he meets the presidents.
You've got in some cases you've got to be very careful, because if you can really offend, you can cause more trouble than.
We're in a world that can easily offend by just the simplest of touch, and the simplest of words when you don't mean it. When you don't mean that way, it's true, because we do live in that kind of world now.
That we do.
Another question I want to ask is, comparing the old pay-per-view system with the current pay-per-view system.
You mean how? Are you on about the olden days when it was like Clash of the Champion?
No, like you had it in the houses. Like, they all led up to your Survivor Series, your SummerSlam, your Royal Rumble, and your WrestleMania.
And in your houses?
That's what I said. In your houses, like, would
Like
always combine in like a big thing at SummerSlam.
Yes.
Like, they always lead up to that because that was your big paydays.
Yes.
And like now, you have to have like your elimination chambers with chambers in, and you've got to have this in. And
what your question is at the moment in time, WWE got too many pay-per-views? Because
no, I'm not bothered about the certain pay-per-views. I mean, well, why did it have to change from like we had good old wrestling that led up to like the big blow off at SummerSlam or Mania or somewhere. Now you've got apparently we blow off at say Battleground.
Then you've got to have another blow off,
and then you have like a completely different blow off at SummerSlam. Like Taker's and Lesnar's is completely fair enough. That it combines from WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, that's bringing back some history, but I think at this moment in time, WWE have got think that they don't want to keep rehashing the same feud. You don't want to see the same two people month in, month out.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you're seeing them every week, at least, well, you're seeing about at least a minimum. If you're just watching Raw and SmackDown, and then you you're at least watching them twice a week.
Yes.
So you're seeing them more. Where early days you didn't have your SmackDown, so there was less TV time. So then they could use potentially pay-per-views to possibly build further a little bit more. Yeah, I can see you possibly.
I mean, regardless, it doesn't matter how much TV time you can have. You can always still build up a storyline and have like,
What you're on about is where are the feuds like where it's not ended at this pay per view and it continues.
Look at
a good example would be Bray Wyatt versus I believe Dean Ambrose. Possibly.
Meh.
Or Daniel Bryan versus.
Daniel Bryan versus new enough for anybody.
Yeah.
Like, because I like watching my wrestling. So like you had like your Diesel and your Taker. They started the one before. I think either at the Royal Rumble or the one before.
Yeah.
Had the Timbers in your house, and they kept costing each other matches. Like Taker cost Diesel at. That was it. Taker cost Diesel at the one before Mania, and Diesel cost Taker either at the one in December in your house.
Yeah.
And that's December through to Mania.
Yeah.
Well, what's happened to that now? You have to like blow up a few like that. They're clicking fingers. It's like, oh, yeah, fair enough, you've got TV time, but you blow it off at like extreme wars, but you can still make it last for like another 2 or 3 months.
There's also the fact that at times WWE also thinks that fans do have a short attention span as well, which they do. It's like they've always got to be keep it fresh, keep it. They're trying to keep it as fresh as much as possible, and try and throw as much out to fans to generate as much excitement as they can, to get them up on their feet as much as possible. They're trying to keep that steam train a rolling, constantly. The up and down, the roller coaster, at all times, which it's going up and down, up and down.
Another one I want to get off my chest is the WWE Network itself. It's my sense today. I might have like people mentioning or people complaining, going, "Why have you asked this question? It's so rhetorical and stupid." No, why do Americans get more content than us? Just like with Netflix. Why? There should be no reason why. Why they get extra Total Divas or they get the Ultimate Warrior season pass and everything like that.
It's most likely to do with television networks over here, but probably because certain television networks over here.
You're on about Sky?
Yes.
Just say Sky.
Sky, for example, in our country, have certain rights to Raw.
Yeah, there's more on SmackDown.
At the moment, it's still they still own the contract.
Yes.
Now, once that contract is up,
if I'm correct, it is up this year.
Right. So once that contract is up, then technically the WWE Network should be able to air.
And for anybody who doesn't know, Sky is the reason WWE Network didn't come a lot sooner.
It's one of the reasons.
No, it is the main reason.
It's one of the reasons.
That was meant to come in August. Yeah, August. And
it got pushed back.
They got pushed to October.
Yeah. Then it got pushed back again.
Then that was the main one, October, and then it was like, come on. And they was going back to do it. Launch date was, I think, the 1st of October.
Yep.
And they cancelled it because of Sky and arguments, and they finally got it in.
But even so, they've got a contract with Sky, and if they're going to be breaking it, it's going to cost them a lot more money and affect them in the revenue department big time. As much as everybody can say, "Oh, WWE's like one of the," it's craving the network. It's craving it. I agree, but if it's going to be as much as they can be craving it by breaking a contract, it could end up costing them a lot more by doing a lot more damage as well. By doing so,
but I think we should at least get some extra content. More than we got now.
It's most likely going to happen.
It will, but once we can't say anything until we find out. Until we.
But the difference is, we actually 100% know if that's the reason. Also, there's certain rules. Certain countries have certain television regulations, so that might be why they don't always show different programming, different programmings and whatnot. So that might be another reason why we don't always get the exact same content as other countries. It's due to certain licensing as well.
Because don't you get annoyed when you get the emails of, "Oh, this is on WWE Network"? You think, "Oh, I wouldn't mind watching this." Go on the WWE Network. Oh, where is it? Nowhere to be found. And it's like,
I agree in the sense of in that sense, but on the other sense,
get back to me at this precise minute, going, "I agree with you here, but I agree with this."
It's not about,
because I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to. As a fan, it angers me. As a fan myself, but you've got to see it from their side as well.
What do we think of WWE not having proper tag teams and just having makeshift tag teams?
I will say this: you've got quite a fair few topics here.
Mr. Goff's not here. I've got to at least fill in for an hour or so. Come on, come on, keep up with the times.
You got to fill in for the
exactly. I don't get me wrong. You got a good team of Cesaro and Kid.
Oh, phenomenal! phenomenal. Which is at the moment so unfortunate because
because of Tyson Kidd having the
being
freak
injured.
injury, which it wasn't Samoa Joe's fault before anybody even thinks it.
It's an accident. It's as we've said before, and the reason why we do say don't try this at home.
And also the main phrase I
you-
will say to everybody, every single wrestler who knows me: shit happens.
accidents do happen, but
Even if you take the best bump in the world, you can still hurt yourself.
gravity hits. Gravity hits.
Ask Matt Burns, ask Chris Drew, ask myself, ask anybody.
Ask Chris. I love how you threw Chris Drew. The man that gravity remembered.
Oh,
He's never forgetting that.
Always
he's never
not.
losing that.
I have it on my PlayStation at home. It's on there, and it's the first match as well.
The man that gravity remembered.
What, you're coming down here, sunshine? Like, why couldn't they like being like a good team like Trent and Chucky T? Even though Trent used to be with them,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got, your Young Bucks.
Young Bucks don't want to be.
Yeah,
they chose not to
not the minute.
at the moment.
There was in a recent interview saying we would like to, but not just yet.
Yes, they're not sort of ready to make the move, which is quite surprising because most people always seem to think we want to be at the big stage. The big stage. The different as much as
That's very different in other people's
it's
lives,
very different.
because
Everybody wants to get to that level at their own time.
like
If you rush straight to the top, the second you have a trip or fall, you've got a long way to come down.
well, it's like I couldn't totally understand with them because if you're an English wrestler, you want your main names to either go on All Star, Southside, or PCW, or now ICW and Rev Pro.
Yep.
Or you got your 4FWs who just recently had Rey Mysterio and Alberto Del Rio on the show,
They did.
which is great because they're drawing at 1,200 people, and
Fantastic. Fantastic.
it means English wrestling's getting on the map now. And say if you got to them, now you want to get to WXW in Germany.
Yeah.
It's like it's like probably second, or you could argue with being saying the first or second best company in Europe.
Yeah, but there's always going to be arguments on. There's always going to be people arguing over my
Yes.
company's better, that this company's better.
No, I'm sorry, but
it's
figures
it's one of the top companies.
like you can't argue that WXW bring in a lot of imports because they have a lot of their talent are race, like Bad Bones, and Tommy Ends used to be their champion.
Oh,
And,
them kicks.
oh, mate, he's mint though. If someone argues to me, name 3 of the top companies in the UK, regardless, no matter what you think, PCW, All Star, because All Star's been around for 40 years. If you don't believe me, check on their Facebook, and Southside.
Yep.
And if I'm correct, it's a 6th anniversary this year, isn't it?
Did you say All Star's been around for 4 years?
40.
I was about to say.
They made a reputation very quick then.
Even I was about to say, really?
No, 40
No,
years.
but they've been around for a long time, but
Because when
they've earned that
ITV
reputation.
Because when ITV technically back then took off World Sport, Brian Dixon took over. I mean, he took over.
But
Regal even says it. Regal
Yeah.
said it perfectly on the Steve Austin podcast. He went and took over. Then of course you want to get to America.
Yeah.
And if you're an indie mark, this is no disrespect to anyone on the indie scene. If you love your indie wrestling, you want to get to PWG, ROH.
Yep.
And I'm trying to think of the last one because I don't want to be. Because you've got 3 major companies. TNA is a separate company in this bit, by the way, so I'm not going to say
Lucha
TNA.
Underground?
And Lucha Underground, yes, because it's in Austin, Texas, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
You got those 3. If you want to be an entertainer but still an indie wrestler, TNA.
TNA, if you want to be...
Internationally, who's bigger than most of them companies, New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's where the Young Bucks want to be at the minute, because if you've watched the Devitt documentary, the Finn Balor documentary on the WWE Network, he goes, he was there for 2 months, had 2 months off, 2 months, 2 months off, 2 months, 2 months off. So, there's a set routine there, and you earn your keep over there.
Yeah.
Which is great. And of course, you got everybody's dream, which if they just say, I don't want to be WWE, absolute bull.
If you got the option to go to WWE, I'm not being funny.
Like if someone said,
if someone says, I've got a contract for you to be in the development company for WWE, are you going to take it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to nod your head, of course.
Because
you're going to want to sign up. because you're going to want to learn your craft from from some of the
I'd say because
best
like
superstars, some of the best trainers.
like do you want to know one of the reasons I think Paul Ray got so good?
Go on.
Because he went from ECW to WWE, and he had so long at WWE, he learnt the style. Because there's Vince McMahon's main phrase, and I can say this because I listen on podcasts, and most of WWE superstars and X1 say it. They go, Vince McMahon says, never look at the camera, but know where your cameras are. Perfect, isn't it? And then, of course, he took that to TNA, and then when he broke away from Devon for a bit, from that time, he just obliterated, and he was amazing.
He became their top heel, their top bad guy. He was, as soon as he walked out, do you know who I am? But anyway, we need to get back on the topic.
We are technically still.
No, we need to get back on the topic for the tag teams, I believe, because you were on about the makeshifts.
Yes, so make a big turn.
Big U-turn, straight back, and as much as it's the chemistry.
Yeah, like
It's the chemistry, because to me, makeshift tag teams can create dynamics, and then they can become a proper tag team.
Red Dragon of Carl O'Reilly and Bobby Fish.
Yes,
Amazing tag team like Kazarian and
Cesaro and Kid, which they actually.
I'm really upset that if they didn't get rid of Chris Hero, they would have had the Kings of Wrestling.
But even so, even though it didn't happen,
Imagine if they had them.
that would have been amazing. That would have been amazing. But every indie fan would have been, doing the Daniel Bryan chant, yes, yes, yes. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. They fell off.
Reasons that
they separated. They parted ways.
there's only one person who knows what went on, and that is Chris Hero himself.
That's Chris Hero, and
And WWE's, that's their business, and no one else's.
Yeah. Now they've gone their separate ways. Now Cesaro, who on the independent scene is known as
Claudio Castagnoli,
a tag team specialist
and singles specialist. Just watch him, Shikara and PWG.
Just watch his work. Now he's now being able to show off his individuality on his own.
But he's one of them wrestlers who can just blend in with anything.
He can blend in, and I'm so glad now he's developing his character. But anyway,
you know one team I would really like to see in WWE?
What?
Beer Money.
Beer Money.
No, just because it's
a good solid team. It's a good solid team. Not denying it.
Because don't get me wrong, sometimes you need your makeshift tag teams to make it big, but if you get the independent team,
the difference is the handy thing about makeshift tag teams is makeshift tag teams can make an actual tag team.
Yes, but unfortunately, some of the times you can't make that connection because
you haven't got the dynamic, you haven't got the edge, you haven't got that.
Like Ryback and Axel. I know it sounds really bad how I just compared them to like.
Ryback's doing it as.
Oh yes, no, it's not. You can't say Axelmania anymore.
I said Ryback.
Yeah, but I was just say quickly. They took away Damien Sandow's Macho Man gimmick, and they took away Hulk. Axelmania from Curtis Axel. For obvious reasons, but
yep.
Like Lucha Dragons, I find them really good,
entertaining,
and they've actually worked with each other like before.
Yeah,
because Hunico was like the proper Mystico.
Yes.
There's this big argument,
folks. There's actually two. There's technically two Sin Caras. There's two
Mysticos, and it's Hunico's the original.
He wasn't the original.
Yes, he was. He was actually before the Sin Cara that originally came in.
No, the original Sin Cara did appear, but then became injured. Then Hunico came in. That's what happened.
No, I was on about when there was Mystico. Before they got W. And you got that, and you've got your Ascension.
Now, not many people actually realise that the Ascension was actually bigger, had more people in it.
You had Bram in it.
Yeah, originally, Bram and one of was it
Killer's Elite Squad?
No, it had Carlos Colon. which is one half of the. It's got one of the members of the Matadors.
Yes, Carlito's brother.
And yes, and he also had a diva with him, which is I think Mendes.
Rosa Mendes?
Rosa Mendes, I believe. But
I believe.
it's sort of they had one skint with it, one little video that did actually air, but then sort of got pulled, that sort of got switched, and then all of a sudden it just became. It was originally Bram and Connor. And then an incident happened with Bram involving WWE. They separated. Connor was then sort of thinking,
and then luckily he got with Victor.
And then eventually Victor came in, and then they've got the Ascension pushing forward.
Mm-hmm. It's just a shame that they don't have like proper tag teams, but as I said,
but sometimes they can make tag teams make shifts.
But I think because WWE like they do superstars, and you do your main event, and then you do your Raw, your SmackDown, your house shows, your pay-per-views, your WWE exclusives if you're lucky enough. You've got that, but it's just the fact that I think the proper tag teams should come through the independent scene first, because then WWE can see them for what they're worth, instead of just going, these two will look good together, let's chuck these together. Like me and Christopher Drew were actually a makeshift tag team at start. We was.
I also seen that you technically had a bit of a makeshift tag team with a certain
the Wester Spunk AJ Hughes,
as you've just called him.
Yes, boy.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Is this going to turn into a heel-to rivalry?
No. He loves me too much. I'm like the daddy he never had.
Basically, you're the one who's telling him how to do things right.
Oh, I am.
Not going to argue with that.
No.
Although he could get better advice at times.
like anybody. I'm sorry, like most British wrestlers, when we can ask a good old, Robert Brookside or Johnny Mars, or
if you ever get a chance to get input from an
No, I'm sorry, but when some people are like really arrogant about it and don't want to ask, I'm sorry. If someone's had like imports or been to that stage or been to TNA or just America or Japan, take that voice.
Don't go. Really? Get your notepad and pen out and take notes.
I do it with Bad Bones. As soon as I finished that training session, I wrote everything what he taught me down.
There we go. But anyway, makeshifts do work, but in actual tag team dynamic, it shows that they've actually got the chemistry, but makeshift can become an actual tag team.
Is there any topics that you want to discuss quickly?
There is one. It was mentioned. We got to cover the how we became into how we got our love for the wrestling. Now the one topic I want to cover, I want to sort of bring up a little bit, because as Nathan's not here, we can actually bring it up.
We can bring it anyway if Nathan was here. True, we could, but I don't want him feeling left out. I mean, how we actually got into the wrestling business, how we became, students of the craft. The wrestling school.
Yes.
Do you want me to go first? Because I don't mind.
Go ahead.
I was getting drunk at a friend's house. I was a really, really big drinker back in the day, because, typical 17-year-old. A friend of mine I went to school with went, they're doing a wrestling training in the Dudley Leisure Centre. And I was like, you're talking shit.
I didn't believe it.
No, I didn't believe it. And he went, you know what, no, bet you want to do it. Both went.
I will say, we may have a bit of a common thing in here, man. It's not the drink. It's the you didn't believe it at first when you heard it.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, right. Please, you can't say that. Wrestling schools. For enough, FCW, Future Championship Wrestling. I walked in tracksuit bottoms and a polo shirt. Got my ass kicked. The only decent bump I did was a flip bump. And from then on, the week after, I met Mr. Carson Bailey, as I said last time.
Yep.
And I trained. Of course, every trainer goes, I need to be on a show, and they were right when they put me on. I wasn't ready for it when I did my first Rumble.
You weren't ready. It just felt...
It was a Pacific trainee battle royal. from quite a big crowd because we had a load of people in.
Mm-hmm.
The debut of the Iron Serb.
Oh.
Oh, from Serbia. So random words he sings. He basically sings the Russian, not the Russian national anthem, the Serbian national anthem in the worst national anthem accent in history. You know it's from Serbia. He actually is. He's part Serbian.
Yes.
And you recently come back from Serbia.
Oh.
And that's where I met Big Double A, aka now Victor. I can say it. You can notice the difference.
Victor.
Victor and Sean.
Is he the one who introduced me to FCW?
Yeah, technically I did.
Technically, he introduced me to his fist, and then I just remember going flying in midair, and then blackness.
Yes, I remember getting on that show, to be honest. And I met Sean Humperdinck, someone called Ollie Hughes, who went to prison for murder, I think.
Oh,
He was a lovely guy, though, a really lovely guy.
Oh dear.
And it was me and Dom. And that's the infamous he fell over. And from then on out, I still kept training and
Yeah.
fell in love because some people are like really bad about training, but I love it. I wish there was a school in Stoke so I can go regularly because it keeps you fit.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that it keeps your mind active.
It keeps you busy, and you're learning your craft. Or,
you're perfecting.
You're perfecting your craft, and you're potentially having the ability to be able to learn new.
No, in life as well as wrestling, there is nothing you will never ever know everything fully.
I will say this. I will go on record and say this: if I ever learned everything there is in wrestling, and I mean proper mastered everything, I knew it all the answers, I knew everything, I would retire. That would be it.
Just like the phrase of
you won't learn everything.
And the phrase of if you stop getting nervous, you should retire. Because that emotion is so rare and beautiful.
It's so raw. It feels so.
I know it sounds really silly me going it's beautiful. It is beautiful because you're nervous, you're thinking, it amps you up, it gets you just hyped, and it's amazing.
It's not just that, it also reassures you that you want to do your best.
If you're not doing your best, then what are you doing here?
Correct.
Right, I have a phrase of, if I can have match of the night, I'll have match of the night, but if I can't, there's nothing wrong with a very good match or a good match. As long as people realise I have a good match, they'll talk about my match just as much as the main event.
As long as you're entertaining.
Oh, well, definitely that.
As long as you're entertaining. As long as you become memorable.
Especially if you've got
everyone's got different reasons.
Yeah, like, how did you get introduced to our wonderful world of pro wrestling?
As we said, this was during my high school days. And I mentioned this previously, the group of friends. Yeah. I had like Christopher Ratchford. I'll even go on record to say the names of the group of friends. We had like Ben Lodge, Pete Bourne, Richard Lawton. There was a group of us.
Why do I recognise that the Lawton name?
But it doesn't matter. He's not actually in wrestling. He's not in wrestling, but he is trying to get into it. He's after a training school like yourself too, so he can learn, so he can get into it.
Bring it to me, I'll teach him some training. I have to bump.
Fair enough. But
I'll do it free.
The difference is we were a group of lads. We were big fans of wrestling. We watched it day in, and Ratchford found a local newspaper ad, and he decided, let's give it a shot. He tried it first. Loved.
Isn't it the company of BMWA?
BWA.
Yes.
That was the latest name of it. When the paper was being brought around, it was known as GBH. It doesn't sound great. Great Britain Hardcore, as it was known as then.
But the problem is, though, I actually know a wrestler called GBH. And he did the infamous thing at Bagridge, which I will never forget as a fan.
Fair enough.
I will say, this is when I don't agree with racism either. When he Chris Hero, Colt Cabana and Mike Quackenbush on the show. he hits up and he goes, and there ain't no black in the Union Jack.
Oh!
And the crowd are hot until that moment.
Oh!
Sorry for bringing that up, but it's always said GBH. That's the name I know.
Fair enough, fair enough. Fair
No,
enough.
you go to this company called GBH, it becomes BWA.
No, it didn't originally come BWA.
No,
It went from GBH to AIWFGB.
then too.
Full that is, I believe. And then it became BWA.
That's what I meant that it ended up
Yes,
as
it
BWA.
ended up as BWA. And we called it, a group of us called it the School of Hard Knocks. As it always was. As you always do with training. We went there, and I will say, every trainee, you know, both me and you will agree, when you first go there, you're thinking it's easy, you get your arse kicked. Would you agree?
Even if you don't think it's easy, you still get your ass kicked.
You still get your arse kicked.
Because
you know,
human being...
It's not just by the wrestlers, just from the way you're learning it as well.
A human being is not meant to land on his back.
Not land...
Or his front in that manner.
Gravity hits, as we've always stated.
Even when you don't use gravity that much.
Yeah.
It
still hurts.
Especially the first time you do it and you don't tuck your head in. Like, in wrestling you're supposed to tuck your head in because... Or else you're going to break your neck.
You've always got to protect your neck.
You know, yes, I found out clearly in that one cage match. where I forgot my basic.
Ooh, ouch.
And you hit that floor or that mat. And sometimes those mats don't give.
They just hurt. They just hurt.
Yes, I think you have to do that week after week. If you only get the option to do it once a week after week
after week.
If you start getting used to it, then you got to do something new. And like
injury build.
The first hip toss I ever took. Oh God, that hurt so much.
I'll never forget my first snap suplex.
Oh, that was lovely. I could take them really good.
No. I wasn't even fully prepared for it. It was literally a snap. I thought, yeah, I just felt like he snapped me in half.
Did you feel a bit?
It was like...
Did you feel a bit untouched, but in a way.
No.
No, you know what I mean though. Because I don't want to say the specific word.
No, I know what you mean. But for me, it was like, hey, you can move me up your body. I had to feel my legs. Check my legs. I was fine. It was just shock. It was just shock from the landing. I wasn't used to landing.
The last topic I want to get on to is...
Let me just...
Oh, but I thought you did because you was
No. Let me just bring it up because when I was there, I was being I had like the head trainer Chris Curtis. I had some people there, Dirk Feelgood, Johnny Fear. Now not everybody probably knows their name, but if you actually look up on the British scene, you'll probably see who they are. You know, they are quite some characters themselves.
Isn't that where you met Mr. DeVecchio and Mr. Squirt?
Yes, it is. That would come later when I had to take some time off from training due to a rare illness, which almost actually took me completely out.
It's probably the first time you caught uveitis.
No. It's much worse. Much worse.
I will not discuss it because that's your business, not mine.
No, it's no worries. But the illness that I had took me out for an entire year. Technically, it could have...
I thought breaking my elbow was bad in the mosh pit.
No. It wasn't actually injury from wrestling.
No.
It was a condition.
Mine wasn't through wrestling. Mine was through mosh pitting.
It was from mosh pitting.
Christmas Eve as well.
The illness that I had because I was born.
Sorry.
I was born with it.
Okay, that's better.
There we go.
Please, I was going to say, word that properly because it was like, this is the illness I had because I was born.
No,
it just sounds like you're like...
It was
an infection that life, unfortunately...
No. It's not an infection. It was just due to circumstances. I was born with this illness.
It fell off. But then, of course, you met them later on.
I got that
cleared
out, dealt with, and then the second I got the all clear from the doctor, the first Sunday that came around, I was in that training school.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to meet Dave Delvecchio, Squirt, Scott Schuyler, and everybody, and surprisingly, a very young Bubblegum. a very young bubblegum who was going underneath the name of Simon Phoenix at the time.
I love that.
Who I have got to say, amazing talent. Amazing talent.
And when people go, they're not amazing talents, and you go, well, he wrestles for like PCW and this, because some people are that arrogant and say it.
It's not because he just. It's not just because he wrestles there.
No, it's not that. I meant, when some people just go, oh, these aren't very good talents because they're only seen in one place. You're like, yeah, you haven't seen them at like he's like 42 other companies.
Yeah,
and that's no joke. Just want to speak. Another topic before we go on to the good old public's questions is, what is our highest point and lowest point in our wrestling lives?
Ooh. Bit of a tough one. This one is. Bit of a tough one. Really, for me. I can't really say I've got a low for wrestling. I've always aimed to be as pleasant as possible.
No, but there are moments where you like, it can't be like, you can't just go. In my 10 years of wrestling, I had a lot of high points and no low points. There must be one low point that you thought.
Is this of all highest point of all time, or just a high point?
If you want the highest point of all time,
I'm not going to aim for the highest point. I'm going to aim for the one of me high. The funny thing about it is the high point that's in question will actually lead to one of the questions at the same time.
Okay.
Which I'll actually answer. I'll actually mention the question that is from Miss Maweko. One of the questions that.
If you pronounced it wrong,
if I pronounce it wrong, I do apologise.
And absolutely rip him.
I do apologise.
Nothing's wrong with that.
She is from the Netherlands. Maweko, her name is. And she actually asked if we've ever won what was our first championship that we ever won. Now, the first time I won a championship was the BWA X Division Championship. I worked hard for that. I really aimed. I believe I did my hardest at the time. I thought I had to fight hard, and I had to win it in like a bit of a six-pack challenge. Every man for himself, one pinfall only. I won it, and I've got the belt. I'm in front of the crowd. It didn't hit me until I looked at the belt in my hand, and I could hear it. The whole room went quiet, and I just saw my brain just went, "Have I just seriously won there?" And then I had to snap back into reality very quickly. It was a very proud moment for me, because it was like my first championship. The first time I've gone up on that ladder. It felt special to me. What about yourself?
My lowest point was when I was at PWL and I didn't say much to people, but I said the wrong things at the wrong time.
Oh.
And it's not because I was that arrogant or anything. It's just I said things at the wrong time. Certain things happened. I was so low I was going to quit. And, I would get upset about it. Personally, I'm like, what am I doing really? The company doesn't give a crap about me.
Yeah.
And stuff, and just it was horrible. And my highest moment was.
Oh, I didn't mention my low.
Because you didn't want to say that you didn't.
No. I do have a low point.
Say it then quickly.
But I'll get my low.
You're my
I'll get my low point now. Because for me it was injuries, and one of them, as everybody knows about the uveitis, but I was lucky enough. I was having some time off anyway at the time, but I did have one injury that ended up having me lose bookings, which I was absolutely cursing, because I want to get back into the squared circle as much as possible. And do you know which injury this is? I have mentioned it. My shoulder.
Yes.
The F5 gone wrong. I was F5'd, and what ended up happening is I ended up landing on my shoulder. Lucky enough, the person noticed the mistake. It would have landed me on my head, which would not have ended well. And I'm glad. I'd rather take a landing on my shoulder than my head, anytime. But the damage that it sort of caused, I got technically informed that I had possible nerve damage. I couldn't even hardly. I was having to train. I was having to train me arm in such a different way, because it was that painful, and it was almost killing me. Missing. It was almost eating at me, not being in the squared circle.
Maybe see if friends get success. See if friends get success. See if you can. That can be me. But I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm injured.
Which is unfortunate, but I ended up having time off. But the second I got back, it probably didn't do me any favours on the night though. Even though I had the match happened, I went into a rumble straight after with the arm, but the day after I couldn't even move it. It was like I had my arm in a sling, to a point where I couldn't move it. That's how bad it was. But lucky enough now I've got my arm. My arm's fine and everything, and I'm back to wrestling. And the first day I got the chance to wrestle, I was so happy.
But you weren't miserable because you're back in that. It's a weird sensation. If you've never wrestled before, then I don't want some bullshit answer. You go, oh, I know how you feel. We don't, unless you've actually been out there.
Yeah.
You felt that crowd, and you've listened, and you've waited, and you're now going to wrestle. It's a completely different feeling. Yes, you could be an announcer, but you're just announcing. You're not taking that risk. You could be a manager.
No matter what form of entertainment, getting that, you can still get a feeling, but it's a different feeling no matter what. It's unless you have done it yourself, unless you've been in that scenario. I can say what I believe you're trying to say. Unless you're in that scenario, you don't know. But then again, every scenario is different for everybody else, which is true. But for me, I'm somebody who's always strived to be, to be as entertaining as possible for the crowd. And I hope to be able to continue that,
Back to my high point, I think it's either a toss-up between when I main evented Edgbaston. There might be a rumble, but the last match technically was me.
The main event.
Yeah, and I was Intercounties champion. It was a really good show. I have a funny story about that one.
Which
I can say in a bit. And this would be a weird one. The first show after my child was born.
Oh.
2 weeks before he was born, I wrestled RJM.
Yeah.
Then 6 weeks later, I was back in. Because I had to look after my fiance, because, family came first this time. Unfortunately, when you're a wrestler, you don't... You're really selfish, unfortunately, as a wrestler. Because if you've got a family, you always put wrestling first instead of your family. I know it sounds weird. You might think, what?
In some events, yes.
Not a lot of events. You go, oh, you know what? If I do this and do this, you sacrifice so much.
But at times,
when
Cesaro pointed it best. He's missed Christmases. He's missed birthdays, anniversaries,
relationships,
and friendships to be.
David said it once. He said, "If you want to be a wrestler, don't have many friends." He said, "Don't have a girlfriend, don't have a social life, but I love it," and that is one of the real reasons. And 6 weeks later, after the birth of my child, I was at James Terry at Shane Varney's in Leicester. I'd never been half an hour before. It was really great. I will give James Terry that any day of the week.
It just felt special to you.
It did, because it was the first time that, because we have chemistry regardless, and just that night was just, we were on fire.
You were on point. It was literally everything worked for you.
Tit for tat, the crowd were up and down. Oh, that's when I started to realise that, you know, even though I had 6 weeks off, I felt it, because
You love.
yeah, no, that's my high point. And the first title I won,
Moeko.
Waco. I didn't want to say it then, just in case I got it wrong. I probably did get it wrong still.
But
Still Matt Burns. I can blame Matt Burns.
I like how you did that.
PWL Tag Team titles, and my first singles title was Slam Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, but very nice.
But I lost it 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later, because I was arrogant and said I don't want to wrestle here.
Oh, but even so, you know, you had the title.
I was the man.
Look, you know, doesn't matter. But every title is precious, no matter how long you've got it. It's always precious to you. Always.
I earned it. Anyway, but yes. And the second question was... Funny road stories.
Funny road stories.
From Miss...
Moeko.
Moeko, yes. Would you like to say yours first?
It's a tough one because...
We've had one.
We've had one. We've had one that's involved both of us. We've had individual ones. There's that many we could probably mention. It's just hard to choose from. Tell you what, shall we give them a treat? Mention one individual one, and one that involves both of us.
Yes. I think the one both of us have all just mentioned together, because that one...
That has been mentioned before.
My single one would be, I was in the car going to Cardiff, and Corey Johnson had a £60 cap.
Oh.
We're going down the motorway, the dickhead. He hangs out the window. He hits a lorry mirror with his cap. It flies off. And then also you just see his heart sink. And then a bird went and shot on him.
Oh!
He missed it, but it was so funny because he got in that car and he was complaining, oh God.
I need my heart.
And you know, Corey's, oh my heart, oh, it was brilliant. And he's crying, and I had to wrestle him. First mistake. Like I say.
Oh, but it's still a funny story. Actually, you just done me a massive favour. You just reminded me of another funny story that I've got to bring up.
Okay.
This would be the mobile incident on the way to Nottingham, to Southside.
Okay.
Have you heard this one?
No.
No.
Oh,
there we go.
Paperboy.
No, not Paperboy. I've got two girls who I'm going to the show with, and one of them leaves their phone on the dash in the front of my car. They're both sisters, Vicky and Philippa Hopwood, and Philippa left her iPhone on the front of the dash. Now, we're coming to a roundabout. I can see it. And I give a bit of a quick heads up to Philippa, who's got her window wide open. Just beware your phone, just in case. We're driving towards this roundabout. I go around the roundabout. Before, actually, go back a little bit. As soon as I said, grab your phone, she goes, no, it'll be fine. We went round the roundabout. I have never seen an iPhone fly out of a window so quickly in my life.
I've seen iPhones.
However, I thought she caught it because the noise that came from when it hit, the windowsill of the car, and I'm thinking to myself, she's got the phone. All of a sudden, all I hear is, "It's gone out the window!" I'm ended up hitting the brakes. They're trying to get the phone. They're running out to it. I'm thinking to myself, They're gonna get crunch. A massive truck. A massive truck runs over it. I'm thinking to myself, oh good lord. It's been killed. It's been killed. Just get the remains. Unfortunately, before they could get it, the remains, a second truck hit it. It was like, if the first one didn't do it, the second one did. Biggest shocker. They got the phone, got it in the car. I have no idea. I was pulled over at the side, so I wasn't breaking any rules. I managed to get the iPhone to turn on, even though the battery was falling out the back of the phone. I just couldn't believe it. It was just one of the moments. So every time I'm in the car now, I've got people saying to take everything off the dash, just remove it.
I think the joint story we're going to tell together is when we're going from ICW.
Oh, good lord!
I think
we have probably mentioned this before.
No, we haven't. We're not this bit.
But this involves.
It leads up to multiple things.
This
Coming back from the pub.
from
ICW.
From RCW.
AJ and Nathan getting a bit of a tuffle.
Bit of a tuffle over a hat of AJ Hughes.
He gets headlock takeover by Nathan.
I will say this.
That
was one of the best headlock takeovers I've seen.
And for some reason he really annoyed me, so I body slammed him in your car.
Oh, good lord.
And then we got Captain Morgan, good old Captain Morgan and Coke.
But before we left the place, we were, everybody was watching Mr. AJ Hughes drinking a lot.
I drunk more than him though.
No. He was drinking quite a bit, but one of us was being responsible.
You had to. You're driving.
Exactly.
And also,
people were placing bets.
I won.
Did you win?
Yep.
What did you win? Was it on the? Or was it distance?
It was the distance. I said he's going to throw up on the way back.
Oh no!
Halfway through, and it was halfway through.
You weren't the only one who predicted he was going to throw up.
Yeah, but we said we were predicting when.
I was just glad for. I already had a plan for where I was going to pull over at least.
And then, if I'm correct, he's going. I need to throw up.
How quick did I time that pull over?
Then they throw up. He throws up. He's like, "I'm okay.
I'm okay."
And they were driving. And what was the phrase?
What?
The thing that we had to stop over because our eyes were covered in clouds of laughter.
Oh no!
And we're crying.
No. The part that before that he was asking if he could have some more. We were like, no.
That wasn't the laughy bit.
That wasn't the laughy bit. But we're leading up to it.
He had low. He didn't actually drink his.
Oh no! We pulled it away from him. If you remember.
Yeah. I didn't have any.
You didn't have any extra.
Might have had a full bottle.
Whoops.
But no, Ben, if I'm correct, Mr. Goff said a joke. I think it went the lines. It wasn't his KFC joke.
Oh no.
I think it was. It wasn't his way. It wasn't the wasted spunk joke. It wasn't the KFC joke.
Is it the "How do you like me now"?
We were on a specific situation because Mr. Goff loves the phrase, "How do you like me now?"
Now take this into account.
It's 2 in the morning.
I'm driving.
It's 2 in the morning.
I'm driving, so
I'm
focusing on the road.
And he says my phrase, but he says it in a specific way, which I can't mention because I don't want to get him in trouble. And it ended up being really dodgy. And we had to pull the car over for like 10 minutes because we are pissing ourselves.
We were laughing that hard because it wasn't just that, it was just the timing of it. It was just.
I think one of our best road trip ones is when.
It was just the fact that he just added a certain word with a certain action. All I will say is, if you're a fan of Spider-Man, you know what it is. Spiderweb. It was just the fact. It was just. I'll take this into account. I'm having to listen to this madness as I'm driving, and then all of a sudden it goes silent, and then I hear it.
And unfortunately, the first one to laugh was me.
You started laughing, I followed, and then there was a quick pull over. I couldn't... It wasn't the fact that... The reason why I had to pull over, it wasn't because I was laughing. It was the fact that I was laughing so hard, I couldn't see.
Yeah, and I think one of your funniest ones of us two together was when I had concussion.
Oh.
And you're going, Girls, what's your name? I don't know.
I know.
What time is it, Dave?
Dave?
Oh, one more about my brother. I rung him earlier. I didn't know where the hell I was. I had to actually ask him what my name was.
You know, at least I was checking if you knew which one, if he was him.
He was like,
Gals.
Gals, what time is it? I just don't know.
It's
Where are you?
there.
Where are you? Just don't know.
No, I think the actual answer on that one was, I don't know, but I'm in a car.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, but I'm in a car. Do you want anything to eat? Like what? And you give me these options, and they're going, I don't hear food. And you're going, but I've just said you about 4 different places. I don't understand you. Oh, it was, if you've ever had concussion, it's the worst thing ever.
What was so funny is, and I'll say this. Do you remember the moment in your match? Oh, you can tell me in detail what happened.
The Russian extra at the top.
No, you could tell me at the time. You could tell me everything that happened in your match, but you didn't know who you were, what time it was. You didn't even know. I
didn't know my child's name. I didn't.
You didn't know anything.
Name. I didn't know your name. I didn't know the promoter's name. Didn't know where I was.
So essentially, folks, you didn't know anything about me at the time, but he got in the car.
He could have been a serial killer. I would have
He got in the car, but at least he knows he got home safe.
I don't know that one. I don't know. I got into bed. I really don't. If you had a concussion, it's so terrible.
It is. It's not pretty. It's not pretty, but at least you knew. At least you now know you were safe. You were in good hands. You were being looked after.
And one of my favourite car journeys was, as well, quickly to mention, with Chris Drew, Jason Maverick, and 2K.
Okay.
We're coming back from New Breed. The first time I was there. And I put my bag, me, Jason, and 2K, get our bags in quickly. I sit in the front because no fucker's taking my front seat. And then,
As you do.
And then for some reason, 2K went, I need to get something! We see this big red fucking coat. He shoves it in the back. He's trying to shut the boot. This boot won't fucking shut! It won't shut! And Chris Drew goes, what won't shut? Why's my boot not shutting? Realises he's got a cone in his car. Goes ballistic. He goes, oh, this fucking thing in my car! Chucks it, hits another car. Bells like hell. The announcer just come in for a car ride because we could go near his house. He bells. He's going, I can't fucking believe it.
He hit another car.
Yeah, and he fucking bailed. He drove. I'm allowed to say it because...
Please tell me you weren't left behind.
I was in the front seat pissing myself. I was going, you just in the car, you dickhead.
Bail, bail, bail.
Because we was teasing him. We kept going, I want to drink in your car. Because me and Jason were going. He went, I've got some comfort. I went, I've got some go.
He won't let you drink in the car.
Yeah. We was teasing him. He said, we can't get drunk before we get his car. We knew enough was. It was.
I think it was with me when I was driving. It was more or less, can I have it? Yeah, you can. Because I knew exactly what question was going to be.
You might find this funny. And in these exact words of his, one does not put a cone in my boot. And
One
he was
does not simply put a cone in my boot.
Yes, and he was going mental for 2 hours, and I'm laughing, and he's going, don't laugh, and it was.
Do you know I would have thrown back? One does not simply throw a cone into open traffic.
It wasn't open traffic, you weren't moving at this precise
No, I'm saying you're throwing a cone into live open traffic. That's driving. One does not simply throw a cone into traffic.
But I think those are the only questions this week.
I think I've got one more story that involves sirens.
Yes, the one you told me earlier.
Yeah, which you did find funny.
Yes.
I'm literally that. It's pitch black. Now, on the road that we were driving on, there was no lights or anything. It was we were having full beam lights on, and I'm driving. And we try and get it back as quick as possible. and I was just looking like I was just about doing the speed limit. You know, I'm being safe. I'm driving. I'm that focused. I'm concentrating, and some idiot in the back of the car decides to play a certain noise. And as he plays this noise, you got a blue and red light flashing on his screen, and he's got it as far back as possible. Now, when a police car is behind you, you see the shades of blue and red, don't you? In front of you. Now, as soon as I hear the, you know, oh, that's what siren. I don't know what the actual noise is. I'm, you know, off the top of my head right now. Woo, woo, woo. There we go. But I can see the shades of blue and red. I'm freaking. I pull over rapidly quick because I'm thinking to myself, don't break the law, don't break the law, don't break the law. You know, I do check to see if it's safe to pull over, turn around, thinking to myself, what have I done? I haven't done anything illegal. Why am I being pulled over? Why am I being pulled over? To then see them laughing with a mobile. I have never wanted to kill two people so quickly in my life. So quickly in my life. What was so lucky is the passenger, I believe, was Dave Delvecchio. Yes, it's Dave Delvecchio. Luckily enough, he got the heads up beforehand. So, he knew it was coming, I didn't. Then we've got Squirt in the backseat and the culprit, Adam Lake. I never wanted to kill him so badly. I almost had a heart attack. But then, we drove off. We started. I'm thinking to myself, for please sake, you know, I'm driving, and all of a sudden, I see some lights flashing, coming up from behind. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, right. It's just you lads. I turn around and it's Ashford Police. Luckily enough, not actually pulling me over, speeding past to go to another incident. I was thinking to myself, the irony. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. They started laughing even more because... Oh. But anyway, that's that story. And that's how I'm going to end it. For the story. Is there any topics you want to cover?
I think I covered a lot.
You think you've covered... And I believe
I believe that one day... Never mind. We'll get back onto subject. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to or anything? I want to give a shout out to Mr. Nathan Goff.
As we always do.
I want to plug his stuff in. You can catch him on Facebook.
Facebook,
at Nathan Goff.
And you can usually find him.
Usually.
On The Burning Truth.
Most likely. I want to give a shout out to FCW, which I'll be at tomorrow.
Yeah. Well.
Then next week I'm at...
I believe that we'll all three of us might be there.
Well, there we go.
If everything goes according
no,
to plan.
he has to come this time. He disappointed me last time.
Ooh.
I kicked Jason's ass. No, I want to give a shout out to New Breed, NWA New Breed for next Saturday. Then MJP Midlands Joint Promotions on Sunday, and the list can go on because I'm busy.
Yeah.
How about you? And how about you, Gustav? Burns.
Actually, there is a topic I'm surprised you haven't actually brought up. I just thought of. Next week. What is it? Next week. I've got the Money in the Bank match.
My class is Money in the Bank match.
It's
a 6-pack challenge for a
6-pack challenge for the Money in the Bank briefcase. Fair enough. Okay. Done.
Right. I will ask it for you now, just to be nice, and just so you can get out your system. You are 6 days away from, even though people don't know it since I haven't mentioned it, which is quite disgusting, I don't care what they say. You are actually the previous Money in the Bank winner.
I was actually the first at United.
But you was the first, and I haven't mentioned it. Have you won it any more times than that? Because I know you won the once and cashed in on Joey Osborne, formerly known as Johnny Starr back then.
Yes, who had recently beaten Welsh Dragon. He was thinking to himself, I've got the title.
Matt Bird goes every
crack. No, you don't.
That's it. If I'm correct, Skylar won it as well?
Skylar has won it.
Why don't they mention this?
But he was actually, unfortunately, he didn't actually cash it in successfully. He was the first one to fail.
But he still won the Money in the Bank.
That he did.
But why did they mention it then? I'm sorry, it's history, and they should actually mention history since you won it the first time, first ever one. And Scott Sky did win it.
Which I will say that did involve a ladder, and my kidneys did not like me.
How do you think I felt when I went through that ladder with James Terry? Yeah, I bounced twice off that ladder.
Twice. You made it like a bouncing castle.
Yeah, but the fiberglass in my back wasn't worth the pain.
Oh,
Or the reaction.
No, you ain't got time for that.
There wasn't no time for anything. That I was like, fuck no. So you got those. You got you two who won it.
Mhm.
I'm sure Mr. AJ Hughes has been in one before.
I believe he may have.
I don't know much about White Tiger if he has enough.
He hasn't. This is his first.
Funny enough, he's going to have like quite a few, isn't he, recently?
This is his first.
At United or in general?
Hmm?
In general or at United?
He's currently in current battle with Ultimate Thorn.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that. Has he actually been in the Money in the Bank ladder match?
No.
Because he's got quite a few of them coming up.
Oh.
He's got one LCW, and I think he might have one somewhere else. I don't know.
So he's preying on possibly trying to get this win here so he can get a roll on for the.
And of course,
for
you've
the
got
others.
Ultra Thorn, the new. I know it sounds really bad for me to say this, but technically the newbie of this match because he's one of the new people who's come in and made an impact from his debut.
His debut in
Highway to Hell
Rumble and threw me out like a rag doll.
Flair spot. I think I did with Flair out.
Yep.
Because I was struck by Skylar.
He hip tossed me over the ropes.
Not hard. I don't fall.
No, you pulled the ropes down. He literally hip tossed me over.
I chucked you out.
You have to me, but not like how he did. Well, give it time.
And then,
I think you'll
of
try
course,
it, dude.
you've got Tommy Taylor, who has not been the Money in the Bank ladder match. What I know of from his House of Pain days and so on and so forth.
I don't know if they've been in money matches themselves. I'm just saying it's a potential first for them at United.
Yeah, but
Where-
I think that's a bit disheartening. No disrespect to the company itself, or what I feel of the bookers there.
No,
But
everybody deserves a shot.
yes, but when you, as we discussed the other week, when you think of Money in the Bank, you think of ladder, and now you could quite possibly have a ladder in there.
Potentially.
You've had it in there before. Why can't they do it this time?
Don't know. Probably different rules and regulations. I don't know why.
Well, you're the Funk Soul Brother. You're like one of the oldest people there. You're like part of the furniture near enough. Why can't you know? It's true.
It's true.
Why
but
can't you know?
The venue was changed hands and whatnot, so it could be because the venue changed.
I'm not being nasty. So like certain things with the company about 5 bazillion times.
Different rules, different changes have happened.
Yeah.
Now,
it
it could be that reason, or it could be they want to try something different out. They want to be.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
As well?
Ask away.
Recently, United have had the new logo.
Yes.
Why is Jack Union on it when he's not in the company anymore? That's just something that I'm curious about. This is not me. This is me going. Well, I thought he was.
I
thought he was released from his contract because he got severe concussion against bubblegum.
He may be. Technically, you could say okay, he's not with the company anymore, but he is a part of the history.
But I know it's bad. But when you put someone else in there who's part of the company at the minute,
Which they could do later on because we are coming to a anniversary.
It's just fair.
For a
think it's bad.
10-year anniversary for
I just think
United.
it's a little bit bad that they're technically kind of advertising him.
Just because they've parted ways doesn't mean he isn't a part of their history.
Yeah, he's part of the history, but once if people start expecting him to be there because of that post, that's the thing I'm trying to get here. What?
Possibly,
Everyone knows
could be used to generate buzz. it could be used to have people wonder, is he back? Is he?
So
I don't know.
So I've seen him walk around like a new waistcoat on and everything. So
Everything's, you know, everything could be different. I don't exactly 100% know why he's on the poster or anything. He could be trying something new. He could be. Who knows? It could be just be It could just be
So
generate
apart
buzz.
from the two matches that you know about, of course, the Money in the Bank Elimination Challenge match, and Joe Connors versus Barricade.
Which I'm hoping, which I'm actually hoping to win the Money in the Bank and become
Yeah,
a two-time.
Who cares about you?
I'm hoping to become a two-time Mr. Money in the Bank.
Two-time.
Which could
And then you got Connors
then
versus
potentially lead
Barricade.
to.
You got Connors versus Barricade. Do you know of any other matches that are? Because they're cutting a bit fine again.
It's they could be thinking to themselves, you know,
Surprise.
do they want to reveal everything, or
But they're not revealing anything if they just like announce two more matches, in essence.
okay.
Because if they've got, I'm sorry, but you know, even if they just announce one match, it's still, you know, does leave fans hanging going. Not be nice. We already know about the two matches because it's on the poster.
True. But some of the other matches, you can say, oh, why haven't they been mentioned? It might be because they want to generate a surprise. They want to generate buzz. You know, who's going to be facing who. You know, they want to sort of. It could just generate something new, something fresh. Would you agree on that or not?
Nah.
Nope.
No, I'm just funny going for it.
Fair enough. That's up to you. That's up to you. But even so, I'm gonna generally say they might want to be waiting. They might want to be waiting until it's a bit closer. Probably then start making more announcements close to the date, and then possibly leave. You know, they don't want to give everything away. You know, because some companies do like to give surprises. Who knows? Would you agree with that?
Nah. I'm just a funny bugger though, so.
That's just you.
I don't know.
Everybody has their own taste.
Everyone's got their own opinions, everyone's got their own methods to the madness, yada yada.
Exactly.
Yada.
You're not Yoda.
Definitely Yoda.
But anyway, with that now in mind, we shall continue the shout outs. There is actually a shout out I actually want to give out, and it's to Two of Substance. Which is a wrestler who's the lead singer of it, which is Mr. Tommy Hayden.
Oh, that scouse.
You don't like him, do you?
There's not many people. I don't mind him.
You're just
Smells
upset.
a bit, but
You're just upset because he beat you.
didn't beat me.
Oh, here we go. Technicalities.
Who did he pin? Christopher Drew.
Okay.
He pinned Chris Drew. I never lost.
You didn't stop him.
I was aiming to my ball sack. Thank you very much. For
Fair
getting
enough.
Them caught. No, if I'm correct, he have just successfully had his video put on Vivo
Yes, he has.
with Mr. Jack Union in the
Making
video.
an appearance on it, which I have to say, I am, congratulations to them having their music video literally on there, and would like to say, keep the good work going, guys.
Brilliant music, but there's one thing, Mr. Hayden. Remember, I was the one behind the one when you lost to AJ Hughes back in January.
Oh, are you really going to be bringing up that?
Oh, I'm allowed to. Hey, he might have success, but
That's-
the last match he wrestled, he lost. That involved
Yeah, basically.
me.
Right.
And I was the one behind.
You do realise I could bring something up, but I'm
He
not.
did earlier, but it's okay because you didn't say that on FIFA earlier.
Hey.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. I got the last one.
Oh well.
It doesn't matter, but at least I was gracious when I was beaten on FIFA. I was gracious.
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't mind losing.
It's just I just have a feeling that when you actually do beat me, you know, in wrestling, you're probably going to be, I've done it. Yeah, but
no.
you're gonna be hiring somebody. You're going to be hiring someone so you can be the advocate of somebody. You're going to be pulling a Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar on me.
Nope, I'm going to sit there as soon as I pin your fat ass. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to have somebody in the crowd put their hands on their head with big eyes like that man at WrestleMania. And then I'm going to have someone come in there and going, and I'm going to say these exact words. The streak is over.
I am the one.
No, I won't even say that. No, I'll just be like, the streak is over.
It's done. It's done.
I have that. I have the win finally.
Finally. But anyway.
But no. Where can we catch you, Mr. Burns?
You can catch me, as always, on The Burning Truth. You can catch me on Facebook, on Matt Burns UK. You can catch me on Twitter at Matt
the Bad Boy
Burns.
From Huddington Beach, California.
No, not from there. You can catch me on Matt Burns.
Bad Boy.
You can catch me on Matt Burns 04 at hotmail.com, or you can even go to my website, which is matt-burns.co.uk,
which you can buy merchandise from, and he's got some new things on there.
So if you're interested, you're more than welcome to go on there.
And what else? You forgot the main thing. You forgot the main thing.
The main thing?
You can catch Matt Burns.
I already mentioned that.
And
I started off.
No, you didn't. I didn't hear it.
I started off.
It's just like food. If you don't,
it's the first thing I started off with.
It's just like food.
Right.
Just like food. If you close your eyes.
So basically,
you don't get any calories.
You want me to say at the start and at the end, and as always, you can catch me on The Burning Truth. You can even email us at The Burning Truth.
At The Burning Truth.
At The Burning Truth at
Outlook.com.
Yay!
No. Booyah.
Well, hey! He knows. Mm-hmm. Where can we catch you?
You can catch me on Twitter at
Big Deal!
1989. I don't put much on there, but when I do, it's meaningless because it's Twitter. Catch me on a Facebook page of Charles Kelsey. I'm always updating that stuff.
I'm surprised you didn't have like a Beth or something in there with the album, you know.
No, I got the Gotham quote on my arm, so there's no point.
Fair enough.
Catch me on Burn Truth.
As always.
Well, not really, because sometimes I'm not here, because I'm booked.
Oh, no. Well, technically, I can say as always.
Yeah, because you're always here.
Well,
because we're in your studio.
Good point.
Yes, and that's it really for me. And we can catch Mr. Goff on his Facebook page and at The Burning Truth hopefully next week.
Next week, if everything goes according to plan, but
I don't think I'll be here next week.
It might not be both. Both of us might not be here.
Might
not be here. However, at the moment in time, we currently don't know if there will be an episode next week, but we will be back as soon as possible. But it will be a Saturday. So
or if anything, you might have to do it on a Sunday.
We may have to do one on Sunday or something.
We'll keep you updated.
We will keep you updated. We will inform you most likely on the Facebook page, on the Twitter page, on you can hear us on SoundCloud as well and Tumblr. So either way, we're hoping to. If you have got any questions you want to send to us.
Please don't be afraid to
ask.
Our email address once again at theburningtruth@outlook.com,
or
message us privately at the Burning Truth Facebook page, or if you want to go one step further, you go to either Nathan's messages or Matt Burns' messages or myself. There is nothing wrong with asking us questions queries or disagreeing with or having an argument. If you want to argue, I am here all day long.
There we go.
Right. Time for argument.
The only thing I will say is, if you've got questions and whatnot, you're more than welcome to actually post on the page to us. You know,
as long as it's beneficial for yourself and for us.
As long as it's producing, as long as it's beneficial. If you want to just throw out slander, send it to the email. That's all I will say.
And if you've got nothing else to say, send it straight to me because I don't give a shit.
Really?
Bring me all the heat. Bring me all that heat.
You just love to be hated, don't you?
I hate you,
But
mate.
anyway,
Hopefully
And-
you, ladies and gentlemen,
As
out
always,
there, have a very
I hope
good
to
night.
catch you on the next session of The Burning Truth. And with that in mind, I'm going to have to say, please check out your local wrestling
Or
and
just wrestling in
itself.
general.
So,
Or
stay
if you find your own training school, don't be afraid to join in because you never know. You could be actually be at Next Star.
You could be. Who
Never
knows?
know.
Who knows? So, catch you later. So, stay safe, be well, and catch you later.
Remember, be a winner, not a loser. As my phrase goes, how do you like me now? Winner! Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night.
Thank you for listening.